The next couple parts, names were omitted, so you can pretty much make up whatever uh, makes sense to you. So where this one is going, let's see if we can get back to our assembly. So I want to believe it's that one, so I'm going to call that the driver shaft, since this was the driver pin. And then probably the next one will be a support or something. So File, New, Part Millimeter. We're going to create this as a revolve. Get back to my my part. All right, so 10 millimeters on the upside, downside, and 14 millimeters on the OD. Okay, so we'll go into the front plane, open up our sketch. Anytime we're doing a revolve, center line, accidentally grab the circle there, vertical, infinite length. Bring it over to the origin. As it snaps into place, we get the little yellow box. We'll just go ahead and accept. And we're ready to start sketching. Don't know that it really matters. We could try and center it, but we'll just attach it to the origin. In some form or fashion, everything is going to attach to the origin. And then I've rough sketched the profile. So what I didn't do, and probably need to make it a habit one of these days, is to close this off. Otherwise, when it goes to create the revolve, it'll say, "Do you want to close it off?" All right. So one of the first things I can do is select the line, hold down the control button, select the next line. That got a midpoint. Not real happy with that one. So how about line and line, and we'll make those collinear. So that's going to be one less dimension. And the intention is pretty much that they will always be the same diameter anyway. And going to my diametral, I'm selecting the line and the center line. And as long as I'm on the opposite or in between, I'm going to get radial. On the opposite, I'm going to get the diametral. So 10 millimeters on the diameter. We go to the next one, it should jump automatically into diametral. 14. And when I go to the next one, it jumps in. All I have to do is hit the escape, and that one's going to be 10 millimeters high, 16 millimeters for the middle. And I could set those equal, but there may be something that I might want to increase the length or make an adjustment with. So having those separate, we just kind of make decisions as we go along and see what we can generate. So features, revolve boss and base, going to go 360 degrees. Because there is only one center line, then it doesn't have any conflict. It's going to find that center line as the axis of revolution. If there are no center lines, that's when we would have to select the inside line as our revolution. Okay, we'll go ahead and save this. I just hit Control S on the keyboard, and this is going to be the driver shaft. Okay, so let's see, we have the support, the arm, we have a driver pin, so it's pretty much doing the same thing. We have some distances, so this would be a decent place to make some modifications. So I'm going to fly that back out of here, and we're going to do a file save as, and we want to save as copy and open so that the driver pin becomes the current document. So I can check up here in the title, and let's see, what are we? New document becomes active. Close the original document, remains open if it has unsaved changes. We'll just keep the original document open. I don't remember there being any, and there's no asterisk, so everything was saved. And at some point we get a lot of these open, we're going to want to consider closing a few of them. When the computers weren't as powerful, or they didn't have as much memory and video, if it became an issue, it would having too many files open was not a good thing. So I want to go back into my sketch. I can right-click and edit sketch, or right-click and edit sketch, or select the geometry and edit sketch. There's a couple different ways to get into the geometry to make those adjustments. So on my build, I have very similar geometry, but it's just enough. So if I start making changes, 5 and 5, and the outside, and this is where that collinear is going to be a problem. So if I highlight, I'm going to identify the collinear, and then I can hit delete on the keyboard, and that will make the adjustment to where I just have to go in and put in one more dimension. So 5 millimeters on the top, and as long as these don't get too crazy, 8 millimeters, was 8 millimeters on the bottom. I got those reversed, so let's go 10 millimeters, and then errors because that line shrinks to nothing, but once I change the dimension, it should come back. And then we'll accept the sketch, and that looks like a drive pen. So we'll go ahead and save the drive pen, make sure it's current, and then the pin short, we'll probably just create a new, since it's 5 millimeters, and create it on the top plane. Open up our sketch, go into the circle, attach it to the origin. Alright, and I know I went through that kind of quick, but you want to start to get a sense of the pace, that there's things that you're going to stop and think about, and then there's memory in the fingertips that you're going to let pretty much just do their thing. So let's do a file save as, and then this is going to be the pen short. Alright, so that takes care of our pins. We'll go on to additional geometry.